Have you ever experienced this? You get a full 7 or 8 hours of sleep every night. You don't stay up late. You don't overwork yourself. You still take care of your skin regularly. You still apply cream every night. You even take collagen every day. But then, on a very ordinary morning, when you stand in front of the mirror, you suddenly notice that your face looks different. Not exactly more wrinkles, not exactly worse skin, but a sense that your face feels softer, your jawline is no longer as defined as before, and the lower cheeks seem to droop just a little. What confuses many women the most is this: I've done everything right. And then you begin to blame yourself. Did I use the wrong products? Do I need a more expensive collagen? Or is this simply age? But what if I told you that the issue is not your skin, but a very subtle hormonal signal, that a woman's body after 60 is no longer receiving properly each night? This quiet hormonal mistake is slowly breaking down facial collagen, causing sagging skin to appear faster, even when you take very good care of your skin. In this video, I'll help you understand what is really happening and how to gently and safely adjust it in a way that fits the postmenopausal body. Before we continue, please leave a comment and tell me which city or state you're watching from, so I can tailor future content more closely to you. And if you find these insights helpful, please subscribe to the channel to help us reach 100,000 subscribers so more women don't have to keep blaming themselves anymore. Before we talk about any mistakes, we need to pause at one very important question. What has truly changed in a woman's body after 60? Because if we don't understand this, many women will continue to blame themselves, thinking they haven't taken good enough care of their skin, haven't used the right products, or simply haven't tried hard enough. But the truth doesn't lie there. After 60, the skin does not suddenly become weak. Oh, it is simply operating under a different biological mechanism. When a woman is younger, her body is strongly guided by estrogen. This hormone is not only related to reproduction, but also acts as a kind of priority signal for the skin. Estrogen helps stimulate collagen production, maintains skin thickness, preserves elasticity, and supports the skin's ability to repair itself overnight. Because of this, when estrogen levels are higher, the skin can tolerate a lot: a night of shallow sleep, a period of stress, or even an imperfect skincare routine. But after menopause, estrogen levels drop significantly. This decline does not happen overnight, but once it becomes deep enough, the body begins to change how it allocates its resources. Collagen is produced more slowly, the skin becomes thinner, the underlying support tissues gradually weaken, and most importantly, the ability to repair and recover overnight is no longer as strong as it once was. The face is usually the first place where these changes become visible, not because facial skin is weaker than the skin on the hands or legs, but because the face depends heavily on collagen to maintain its structure and lift. When collagen decreases, the face does not collapse immediately. The earliest changes are very subtle. The skin looks softer, the jawline becomes less defined, and the morning appearance no longer feels as fresh as before, even though you're still getting enough sleep. What you need to remember is this: this is not your fault. This is a natural result of hormonal changes after 60. But the story doesn't end there, because many women, even after understanding that estrogen decline is unavoidable, still notice their faces sagging faster than they believe they should. And the reason lies in a second hormonal mistake, one that doesn't come from age itself, but from how the body recovers at night, something very few women are ever clearly taught. When women hear the phrase hormone mistake, they often imagine something big, serious, or related to medication. But the hormone mistake we're talking about today is much quieter than that. It's not about lacking a hormone in the usual sense. It's about the body no longer receiving the correct nighttime signals to enter a state of deep recovery. After 60, when estrogen has declined, a woman's body must rely much more on nighttime biological rhythms to protect the remaining collagen in the face. And this is where one very important hormone appears, one that is often misunderstood: cortisol. Cortisol is commonly called the stress hormone, but in reality, it is not the enemy. During the day, cortisol helps you stay alert. It helps your body respond quickly. It helps you handle daily life. The problem begins only when Cortisol does not drop at the right time in the evening. When cortisol remains elevated at night, the body does not receive the signal that now is the time to rest and repair. Instead, it stays in a state of alertness. And when the body is in a state of alertness, it temporarily shuts down all processes that are not immediately necessary for survival. What's on that list? Building collagen, repairing the supportive tissues of the face, restoring skin elasticity. The tricky part is this: you can still sleep for the full number of hours. You stay in bed all night. You're not awake all night. You're not tossing and turning excessively. But that sleep does not reach a depth where the body can truly repair itself. Many women describe it this way: I sleep, but it doesn't feel like real sleep. I wake up still tired. I sleep, but my face looks more exhausted than the night before. If you've ever felt this way, please comment number 1 so I know you're not alone. When this happens only occasionally, the body can still compensate, but when it becomes a long-term pattern, collagen begins to be noticeably affected, not by disappearing overnight, but by failing to be fully repaired each night. And after 60, when the body no longer has extra reserves, these small nightly losses accumulate very quickly. That's why, in just a few months, many women notice clear changes in their faces. Even though they haven't done anything wrong, they haven't eaten worse, they haven't stayed up later, they haven't neglected themselves. But the body has entered a stage where every single night becomes critically important. If nighttime does not feel biologically safe, not calm enough at a physiological level, the body will choose to conserve energy rather than rebuild, and facial collagen is always the first thing to be cut back. What surprises many women is this: this hormone mistake does not come from something dramatic. It usually comes from very familiar habits: carrying daytime stress into bed, bright light exposure at night, late night snacking without realizing it, or simply a daily rhythm that no longer matches the postmenopausal body. If, as you're listening, you realize, maybe this is happening to me, that does not mean you are weak. It simply means you are living in a body whose biological rhythm has changed. And if you have never experienced sleeping enough, yet still feeling tired, or waking up with your face looking more fatigued, please comment number 0, so I know your body is still recovering well. In the next part, I'll help you recognize the very early signs that your body is losing its ability to recover at night before sagging becomes obvious. The body sends signals very early on, long before sagging becomes obvious. The problem is that most women have never been taught how to recognize these signals correctly. After 60, the earliest signs rarely show up as deep wrinkles or sudden, dramatic skin deterioration. They appear quietly, subtly, and if you're not paying close attention, it's very easy to think everything is still normal. Way below are the 5 most common signs that your body is no longer recovering deeply enough at night and that facial collagen is being affected little by little. Sign no 1. Your face looks tired even when you sleep enough. You're still getting enough hours of sleep. You don't stay up late. You don't toss and turn excessively. But when you look in the mirror in the morning, your face still looks heavy, lacking its natural freshness, as if your body never truly rested. This is a sign that your sleep is not deep enough to activate nighttime repair mechanisms. Sign no. 2. Your jawline fades faster than expected. Many women notice this, not when comparing old photos, but during their daily makeup routine. Foundation doesn't sit the same way anymore. The jawline is harder to define. This is an early indication that the underlying support tissues are not being fully regenerated during sleep. Sign no. 3. The lower cheeks sag more noticeably in the morning. A very characteristic detail is this: the face often looks more sagged in the morning, then improves slightly by the end of the day. This suggests that the support system has not fully switched back on after sleep because the recovery process was interrupted. Sign no. 4. Skin feels thinner and more easily irritated, not because you changed skincare products, and not because your skin suddenly became weak, but because the skin's protective barrier is not being fully repaired overnight. When this happens repeatedly, the skin becomes thinner and reacts more strongly to things that were once completely fine. Sign no. 5. waking up during the night and struggling to fall back asleep. Many women don't see this as a serious issue. At this age, everyone experiences it. Tuning. But in reality, frequent nighttime awakenings are a sign that the body does not truly feel safe enough to enter deep restorative sleep. And when sleep is fragmented, collagen repair cannot happen completely. If, as you listen to this, you recognize 2 or more of these signs, please don't worry. This does not mean your face will continue to sag rapidly. It simply shows that your body needs to be listened to in a different way, a gentler way, one that better matches the biological rhythm after 60. And once you begin to understand that, many things that once felt confusing suddenly start to make much more sense. When you were younger, a woman's body had a very special ability that few people ever noticed. That was the ability to tolerate strain and compensate. One night of shallow sleep did not leave clear consequences. A mild period of stress could still be pushed through without much visible change in the face, because at that time, estrogen was still sufficient to help the body patch up the small losses that occurred during the day. But after 60, this compensatory mechanism weakens noticeably, not because you are weaker, but because the body has shifted into a phase of conservation and prioritization. As estrogen declines, the body no longer has excess energy to repair everything at once. It has to choose, and during moments of stress, even very mild ones, such as overthinking before bed, worrying about family, or simply a vague sense of unease, the body will prioritize systems that are essential for survival. The heart, the brain, breathing, blood pressure, facial collagen is not on that priority list. This doesn't happen in a single night. It happens through many small nights. Each night, when cortisol does not drop deeply enough, the body receives a very clear message. Now is not the time to build. And when that message repeats, the process of building collagen is postponed night after night. That is why many women feel that their faces change very quickly, within just a few months, without understanding why. Not because they are eating worse, not because they are neglecting themselves, not because they are doing anything wrong, but because their bodies are living in a state of prolonged, low-level alertness, a state that is very hard to notice, yet strong enough to change how the body allocates its resources. After 60, even very small stresses no longer simply pass through like before. They leave traces, not first on the mind, but on the face. Many women tell me, I don't feel particularly stressed. I'm used to this life already. IDs, but the body does not measure stress by thoughts. It measures it by signals of safety. And if at night the body does not receive enough signals that everything is okay, it's safe to rest now, then it will not allow itself to rebuild. If you're listening to this and feel, maybe I'm carrying something with me into bed, please leave a comment. You don't need to share details. You can simply write briefly what currently makes it hardest for you to relax in the evening. It could be worry about your children. It could be health concerns. It could simply be a lingering fatigue that you can't quite name. I read every single comment, and those shared experiences help me better understand what women after 60 are truly facing each day. Because once the body has moved past its compensatory phase, the most important thing is not trying harder. It is restoring a sense of safety in the body, in a gentler way. And when that sense of safety is restored, the systems that were temporarily put on hold, including facial collagen, are gradually allowed to function again. Not through miracles, but through a series of very small, very everyday adjustments that are easy to overlook if no one points them out. And that is exactly what I want to share with you in the next part. The good news is this: the hormone mistake we're talking about is not something that can't be changed. You don't need aggressive interventions. You don't need extreme measures. And you don't need to force your body to operate the way it did 20 or 30 years ago. What you need is simply to reset your nighttime signals in a way that fits a body after 60. I call this approach the 7-night reset, not because your face will change dramatically after just 7 nights, but because 7 nights is enough time for the body to begin recognizing that maybe it's safe to rest now. And when that sense of safety appears, The systems that were temporarily put on hold are gradually allowed to function again. Adjustment 1. Reduce bright light before bed. After 60, the brain becomes more sensitive to evening light. Bright light, especially white light or blue light, sends a very clear message to the brain. It's still daytime. When the brain receives that message, it keeps cortisol higher than necessary. That's why reducing bright light, at least 60 minutes before bedtime, is one of the most important adjustments. You don't need to turn off all the lights. Just switch to softer lighting. Reduce screen exposure and give the brain a clear signal that the day is over. Adjustment 2. Avoid late-night sweets. Many women don't eat late dinners, but they do have a small snack afterward. A piece of cake, some sweet fruit, or a snack that seems harmless. After 60, these foods can cause the body to keep working at night. When the body is still busy processing food, it won't prioritize repair. If you feel hungry before bed, a gentler option is a small amount of protein or a very simple snack that doesn't spike blood sugar quickly. Adjustment 3. A very short stress release ritual. Many women believe that relaxation requires long meditation sessions or complicated techniques. But after 60, what the body needs is not more effort. It needs a simple, consistent signal. A 5-minute ritual can be enough, such as sitting quietly and breathing slowly, gently stretching the neck and shoulders, or writing a few lines about what you completed during the day, not to solve problems, but to tell the body, today is finished. Adjustment 4. Consistent sleep and wake times. After 60, the biological clock becomes more sensitive. Going to bed and waking up at different times each day makes it harder for the body to know when to lower cortisol. Keeping sleep and wake times consistent is not about strict discipline. It's about helping the body feel safer. When the body knows what to expect, it doesn't need to stay on alert. And with less alertness, it can more easily enter repair mode. Adjustment 5. Morning natural light. One very simple step that's often overlooked is exposure to natural light. Soon after waking, just 5 to 10 minutes outside or near a window is enough to reset the biological clock. This helps cortisol rise at the right time in the morning and fall at the right time in the evening. When this rhythm stabilizes, nighttime sleep naturally becomes deeper. Many women share that. After a few nights of applying these adjustments, they don't see their skin lift immediately, but they clearly feel that their face feels lighter in the morning, less tense, and their overall appearance feels more stable. These are the first signs that the body has begun to allow itself to recover again. What matters most is this: you don't need to do everything perfectly. You just need to be consistent. After 60, consistency matters more than intensity. And when nighttime signals are reset, facial collagen is no longer quietly broken down each night. It is protected, and little by little, it begins to recover at your body's own pace. After understanding why facial collagen changes after 60, many women begin to ask themselves, do I need hormone replacement therapy? This is a completely understandable question, because we've just talked a great deal about the role of estrogen in collagen and the supportive structure of the skin. The truth is, hormone therapy can offer benefits for certain women, especially in helping relieve some of the more uncomfortable symptoms that appear clearly after menopause. But the most important thing to remember is this: hormone replacement is not a universal solution for everyone. Each body responds differently. The timing of starting therapy differs. Underlying health conditions differ, and what each woman hopes to improve is not the same. That's why hormones should not be viewed as the main solution for collagen loss or facial sagging. Even for women who are using hormones under a doctor's guidance, whether the body truly recovers well still depends greatly on nighttime biological rhythms, because there is no hormone that can fully replace the sense of safety the body needs to enter a state of deep repair. If you are considering or already using hormone therapy, the best thing you can do is listen to your body more carefully and have open conversations with your doctor about what you are experiencing. And if you have never used hormones, please don't think that you've missed something essential, because many positive changes don't come from medication, but from how you live with your body after 60. And when those small adjustments are maintained long enough, you'll begin to notice very subtle changes, not just in your face, but in how you feel. When you wake up each morning, those small signs are what let you know that your body is moving in the right direction. Before we end this video, I want you to pause for a moment and remember the most important thing of all. After 60, changes in the face do not happen because you did something wrong, not because you were careless with skincare, not because you didn't use enough products, and not because it's too late. These changes happen because a woman's body is operating on a different biological rhythm, and when the body no longer receives the right recovery signals each night, facial collagen is gradually left unattended. But when you understand this and begin making adjustments in a gentler way, one that truly fits the postmenopausal body, things no longer decline unconsciously. Change doesn't arrive loudly, it arrives quietly. In the feeling of a lighter face in the morning, in no longer looking in the mirror with self-blame, and in beginning to believe that your body still has the ability to recover, just in a different way. If this video helped you better understand why your face changes after 60, please click like to support content that is gentle, accurate, and meant for women in this stage of life. And if you know a friend, a sister, or a family member who is quietly worrying about changes in her face, please share this video with her. Finally, if you'd like to continue walking with us and receive more content that helps women after 60 understand and care for their bodies better, please subscribe to the Woman Over 60 Secrets channel. You are not alone, and we don't have to go through this stage of life by ourselves.